wasting no time starting this game. Out to jam. This looks like Ange Jovi out to jam for Black Rose. And Jovi is out, taking on River runner number 24 from Crooked River. And Jovi is our lead jammer. Starstruck and Beans working side by side in the butt of that tripod against River Runner. River Runner is out. Jovi's out with the first 4 points of the game. Jovi seeing, I'm sorry, that wasn't River Runner. That was number 8, Pocket Monster. Jovi seeing Pocket Monster come up, calls off the jam, keeping that 4-0 in favor of Black Rose. Bionic calling the 5 seconds, and she blows the whistle. That starts the jam. Twig out there now, taking on number 94 D4, Panic Attack. And Twig is out with a Black Rose lead, so 2 jams in, 2 leads in the hands of Black Rose. Twig is in full control. Now Twig coming in on her first round of points. She's in, taking on a tripod of Crooked River blockers. Black Rose working in a fluid wall against Panic Attack. Twig is out. She's got the first 4 points of the jam completed. And Panic Attack finding a way through, completing an initial pass. Twig still with that jammer start comes in. Passing all 4 of those Crooked River blockers, putting 4 more points on the board for the Black Rose side. Now Beans working side by side with Scar against Panic Attack, keeping Panic Attack stuck in the back. Meanwhile, Twig comes in, toe stops her way through on the inside, completing her third scoring pass, making this a 12-point jam in the hands of Black Rose. Now Twig winding up for her 4th scoring pass, and she's in and she's out. Making what looks to be quick work of those 4 points now. Panic Attack also completing an initial scoring pass, so Crooked River does have some points on the board now. Both jammers breaking out, both of them picking up 4 more points on that scoring pass. So Twig looking at 24 and Panic Attack looking at 8 points. Working a pretty stagnant pack. 4-3 here in favor of Crooked River. Black Rose down 1 blocker in the box. Twig is brought to the back and forced to recycle. Twig going in, trying to sneak through right around the inside of the turn 4, but is taken out of bounds on the inside. Meanwhile, Panic Attack also taken out of bounds and forced to restart their pass. 2 minutes has expired. That brings us to the end of that jam. It looks like there's some points rolling in here at the very last second. Twig with 1 more point, and Panic Attack with 2 more. Okay, let's make that 3 more. So Twig looking at a 21-point jam. .point jam by Crooked River. Out to jam next for Black Rose, number 30, Wreck It. Crooked River out with Goose to jam, Wreck It being called off on a penalty after being declared lead. So no longer a lead jammer in this jam. Looks like Goose might also be, okay, Goose is taken out of bounds but is not being called off on a penalty. So Goose is still in play right now. Blueberry coming in with some nice defense, holding that inside line solid against Goose, forcing Goose to restart this initial pass. And Wreck It re-enters from that earlier German penalty. Unable to have lead privileges now, but it is a scoring pass complete. Initial pass complete, that is. Goose still fighting with Black Rose's defense at the bottom of the pack. Bloody Mary holding up that tripod. Farrah Fawcett now also working the brace of that tripod. Bloody Mary taking that catch position. Here comes Wreck It on a scoring pass. Wreck It making his way up to the front of the pack now. And Reckitt coming out of there with 4 points. Looks like there is a star pass now in the hands of number 113. This is Ghostface. First star pass of the game underway. Reckitt with 4 more points now, looking at having an 8-point jam. Now Reckitt cannot call off the jam because of that penalty just a few moments ago, so we have to go for the full 2 minutes. Pocket Monster coming in to do some blocking against Reckitt, but Reckitt takes that block, stays up on his skates, and just as those 4 whistles blow, Reckitt is out with another 4 points for Black Rose. So 12-0 there in favor of the Rebellion. Scoreless jam for Crooked River now, so looking at 37-11, Black Rose in the lead. River Runner out the jam for Crooked River. And Sunset Scar is out. Sunset Scar jamming for Black Rose, and she is our lead jammer. Sunny is in, making a quick round of points there, coming through, finding a hole on the outside. Beans now putting a block on River Runner. Icebox stepping in to complete that block as well. Sunset Scar is in, takes a bit of a spill, gets back up. And she is out with another 4 points. Meanwhile, Black Rose holding their defense solid against River Runner. Here comes Sunset Scar. Brute force pushing her way through, and she's out with another 4, looking at 4 more points. Sunset Scar coming in for a 4th scoring trip, goes out of bounds, makes a decision to recycle to the back of the pack, making her way through like a pinball, and she's out, looking at 16 points now. Earlier on, we saw Twig with a 21-point jam for Black Rose. Sunset Scar certainly coming up to at least match that. So Sunny now looking at 20 points with 40-some seconds left to go. 40 seconds left on the jam clock for this jam. And Sunny is in. Oh, gets taken out of bounds. Looks like Pocket Monster with that defense against Sunset Scar. Pocket Monster bringing Sunny all the way to the back, forcing her to restart that pass. But Sunny gets back in on the track and gets through for 4 more points. River Runner making their way out. Sunset Scar taking a tumble there, kind of goes backwards. Looks like that is an incomplete pass. No, okay, all 4 points were scored. So Sunset Scar looking at a grand total of 28 points in that jam. River Runner scoreless for Crooked River, so Crooked River still stuck at that 11-point mark. Black Rose up to 65. It's a 4-2 pack here in favor of Crooked River. Black Rose down 2 blockers, and Jovi out to jam next, and Jovi is our lead jammer. Jovi making that pass on the tape. That is, she's going to take the safe route and recycle to the back. So she's in there fighting with Crooked River's defense. Crooked River has all 4 blockers swarming Jovi, but she is out. She's got 4 points. Our 94-84 panic attack has that star for Crooked River. Crooked River losing a block, losing panic attack to the penalty box. Jovi comes out making quick work of that 3rd scoring trip, now make that a 4th scoring trip. So Jovi now looking at 16 points. Back of the pack, meanwhile, Starstruck and Beans working 2-on-1 against that jammer, as Crooked River has passed their star off to Banshee. So Banshee stuck at the bottom of the pack behind Black Rose's defense. Here comes Jovi. She's in for another round of points. Classic bean dip move coming around the turn, and she's got 4 more. So Black Rose looking at a 24-point jam. Just a moment ago, we saw Sunset Scar put 28 points on the board now. Jovi out to make or break that. With 8 seconds to go, she's got 4 more points, matching Sunset Scar's 28-point jam. So back-to-back 28-point jams for Black Rose. Crooked River now calling for a team timeout. JRDA would like to thank 187 Killer Pads for their support this season. Hey, if you skate, you know, 187 Killer Pads are the choice of more pro skaters than any other brand. With visionary designs and top-rated safety and a variety of spectacular patterns, don't skate without your 187 pads. Well, once again, food is not permitted on any area of the rink at any time. All drinks must have a cover or cap so that we don't have any spills. Please be sure to throw out all trash. We want to thank you in advance for your help keeping our facility clean. That rolling whistle brings us to the end of that team timeout. Just about 19 minutes left to our first half of the game. Black Rose 93, Crooked River 11. Let's see who we've got out to jam next on that line. Looks like that might be number 00 Goose with the star for Crooked River. Let's see who we have for Black Rose. All right, and Jovi. I'm sorry, no, Twig is out. Twig is our lead jammer. This is jam number 6 and 6 leads in a row for Black Rose as Twig breaks out of the pack with her first 4 points of the jam. Number 00 Goose has that star for Crooked River, and Goose is having a little bit of trouble getting past Black Rose's defense at the bottom of the pack. Farrah force it, and Bloody Mary working side by side in the back of that tripod against Goose. Twig is out. She's got 8 points now, looking at 12. So Black Rose in their 6th jam of the game, breaking the century mark. Goose out for Crooked River, so both jammers in point scoring positions. Twig is in, and she's out with another 4. So Black Rose with a 16-point jam. Incomplete scoring pass by Goose. That is 3 points on the board for Crooked River. And Twig breaks out. She's got 4 more. Not to be outdone, Goose also has 4 points, so it's a 7-point jam for Crooked River. Black Rose with 20, and Twig is still in control. Twig taking a bit of a spill there, coming through. That's an incomplete pass, as signaled by our outside pack referee, so 3 more points there, compliments of Twig. So Black Rose now looking at 23 points. Blueberry taking Goose down to the back of the pack. Now Farrah Fawcett works with some good defense against Goose. Twig is in, and she is out with 4 more. So Black Rose looking at 27 points, and Twig calls it off. So Black Rose's last couple points spread here: 28 by Sunset Scar, 28 by Aunt Jovi, and 27 by Twig. Seven-point jam by Crooked River brings them up to 18. Black Rose 120. Number 30, Wreck-It, wearing the star for Black Rose, and Wreck-It is lead. Out to jam next for Crooked River. Let's see who we've got. That looks like that might be let's see who we got. So looking for that Crooked River jammer. This is number 12 coming out the jam for the first time. This is Tiny Tornado. Go. Sunset Scar did have a 28-point jam. Panic Attack getting a block by number 64, Jack Skatington, but Jack also going down as well. Oh, and Sunset Scar called off on a back block penalty, so she's going to take a seat in the box and lose lead jammer privileges. So we're looking at a 2-minute jam now, and the chance of a power jam in the hands of Panic Attack. Panic Attack getting stuck behind Black Rose's defense at the back of the pack. Looks like Blueberry in there working that defense. I'm sorry, no, that's Scar working that defense along with Jack Skatington. Panic Attack with a star pass. That star pass off to number 888. That is Helvira. Black Rose still holding their strong 3-wall there, 4-wall, I should say. Sunset Scar finishes her time in the box, comes back in for more derby action. So the first 4 points of the jam are on the board by Sunset Scar. 30 seconds left to our jam. Looks like Crooked River is going to lose Goose on a potential high block penalty. Sunset Scar completing her second scoring trip through. Now looking at an 8-point jam. Crooked River now down 1 blocker in the box, so just 3 blockers that Sunset Scar has to contend with. She gets up to the front of the pack, but is taken out by number 94-84, Panic Attack. All said and done, 8-0 there in favor of Black Rose. They're at 132 over Crooked River's 18. We have Ghostface out the jam next for Crooked River, taking on number 253, Anchovy, and Anchovy, his lead. So a 100% streak of leads for Black Rose Rebellion here in this first half of the game. Jovi coming in on her first scoring trip through. Crooked River walling up with a tripod against Jovi. Jovi is taken down out of bounds. She gets back in, recycles, and makes her way through, and that's a completed 4-point pass. Meanwhile, Ghostface being brought all the way to the back by Blueberry, who's working the back of the pack. Blueberry keeping Ghostface stopped in position while Jovi comes out, completing another round of points. So Jovi now looking at an 8-point jam. Blueberry in Swiss rolls with some defense against Ghostface. Ghostface is once again brought to the back. While that's going on, Anchovy comes out completing her third scoring trip through, making this a 12-point jam, now working on 16. She crashes into that Crooked River defense at the front of the pack. Is taken down by one of the Crooked River blockers. She gets back up. A lot of fight in that one. She is out. She's got 4 points now, looking at a 16-point jam. So we saw Jovi a few moments ago with a 28-point jam following Sunset Scar's 28 points. Jovi now looking at a 20-point jam. Clockwise block called off, called on Swiss rolls. Jovi coming in on another scoring trip. Star pass complete from Crooked River over to Tiny Tornado. And Jovi coming out, completing her 6th scoring pass now, working on number 7. Looks like there's at least going to be a couple points coming in there. Looks like 2 more points rolling in at the very last couple seconds. So 26 points, all said and done by Anchovy. Scoreless jam for Crooked River. Black Rose now 158, Crooked River 18. And out to jam now. This is Twig taking on River Runner. And Twig getting some nice defense there by number 100, Ginger Chaos. Twig forced to restart this pass to the back of the pack. Despite that blocking, Twig is back in, and she is out with lead jammer. Now River Runner taken to the back of the pack by Crow. Crow now joining that tripod, working that active defense along with Bloody Mary. Twig on a scoring pass is taken out of bounds to the inside. Oh, River Runner gets past Crow, and Bloody Mary gaining some traction there on the track. So let's see. River Runner is out. And Twig calling off the jam, but not before putting, looks like 4 more points. Another scoreless jam for Crooked River, 18, Black Rose 1, 62. Wreck it back out the gym for Black Rose, and he is lead. Now, Jack Skatington walling up, bracing a tripod against Panic Attack. Wreck it out with the first 4 points of the jam. Panic Attack not giving up that fight in there. Jack Skatington and Starstruck just holding solid in that tripod, held up by Blueberry. And Wreck-It is out with 8 points now. A little bit of a hop coming around that turn. Looks like Wreck-It is actually going to recycle and take the safe route. Starstruck bringing now number 77 Banshee to the back, with Banshee receiving that star pass. So Wreck is still working on his 3rd trip through. And Wreck completing a 3rd trip through the pack. This is a now 12-point jam for Black Rose, and Wreck goes for the call off. So plus 12 for Black Rose brings them up to 174. Once again, scoreless for Crooked River. We are in a timeout called by our officials. Speaking of our officials, let's give them some love. They've worked a very long day today to make all of this wonderful derby happen. Our skating referees for this last game of the day: Judge Double Wapner, T-Bone, Shebra, Swiss Mischief, Boom, Jeff, Smash Ketchum, and French Thwarter. Our non-skating officials, as we know, we always need more NSOs for a game to happen than referees. Our NSOs today for this last game: Bionic Bee, keeping score, Goblin Babe, Tombo number 5, Scarina, Tsunami, Pterodactyl, NPC, and Less Than 3. Those are our wonderfully talented referees and officials making this last game of our day 1 of playoffs possible. 8 minutes left to our first half of our last game of the day. A special shout out to all of the photographers who are here this weekend. Your photographs not only make these skaters look amazing, but they provide them with special keepsakes that will last them a lifetime. We are thankful to have you have chosen to spend your time here and share your talents with us. Drew Wiedemann, Andrew Keys, Ross Sieber, Josh Hoover, and all of the other league photographers who are with us. Thank you so much on behalf of Philly Roller Derby Juniors. Philly Juniors is grateful to have representation from JRDA leadership in attendance this weekend. Northeast Regional Coordinator kicking around, JRDA Games Director Ref in Peace, and JRDA President, of course, Brett Rogers. Thank you for everything you do to support Junior Derby in the Northeast region and across the country. Looking at the possibility now of having number 110 Sunset Scar out to jam for Black Rose next. Make sure you're here again with us tomorrow morning. First game at 9 a.m. That is going to be the winner of this game taking on the New England Skatriots. Our second game tomorrow and the last game of playoffs forecasted to be around 11 a.m. is going to be the winner of game 2. That was Mars taking on Philly. So there's a rolling whistle. It sounds like we're going to go back to some more derby here. Okay, and that is Sunset Scar out there to take on number 00 Goose. Sunny is out with a Black Rose lead. Okay, each team now losing a blocker. Sunset Scar skating in, making her way through that pack. Finding a hole on the outside, and she's got those 4 points. Now Sunset Scar coming in for a second scoring trip through. Pocket Monster trying to land a check on Sunset Scar, but Sunny stays on her skates, and she's out with another 4. Goose now working as a blocker, joining a tripod of Crooked River blockers, held up in the front by Tiny Tornado. Tiny Tornado shutting down Sunset Scar on the outside line, but Sunny moves to the inside. She's out. Completing her third scoring trip through, making this a 12-point jam with a minute left to the jam. Our penalty box vacates, back to some 5-on-5 derby. Sunset Scar on her fourth scoring trip through. Farrah Fawcett bracing a tripod at the back of the pack, along with Bloody Mary and Diablo against the Crooked River pivot now jammer. I believe that's number 113, Ghostface. Sunset Scar, despite all that, comes out, completing her fourth trip through. This is a 16-point jam. Running a stop pack coming around turn 3. Sunset Scar is in for another round of points. Farrah Fawcett still bracing that tripod at the back of the pack, keeping Ghostface stuck in the back. Crooked River working some defense at the top of the pack now. Goose now working as the brace against Sunset Scar, and it proves to be in Crooked River's advantage, except that pack breaks up. They have to let Sunset Scar go. She's out with another 4. Now looking at a 20-point jam. That's a plus 20 for Black Rose now. They're at 194. Crooked River still scoreless. 18 points. We're going to have River Runner out there now taking on Anchovy. And right off the whistle, Anchovy being called off on a jammer penalty, so the chance of a power jam in the hands of River Runner. Black Rose reforming their defense at the beginning, at the top of the pack. Crooked River losing a blocker to a penalty. River Runner still fighting to get a chance at getting a Crooked River lead here. Starstruck working some defense against Rio. Now Starstruck with some solo blocking on the inside line against River Runner. River Runner gets past Starstruck, tries to toe stop on the line, but ultimately goes out of bounds. Nice defense by Icebox. So no chance for a lead for Anchovy, but she is out with the first 4 points of the jam. And Starstruck not lending any mercy over to River Runner. River Runner still fighting. Now, River Runner is eligible for a lead jammer, but is still stuck on this initial pass. Blueberry going to the penalty box after being explicitly told no penalties in this game. Anchovy is out. 4 points, breaking the second century point mark of the game now. Black Rose over 200 points. River Runner out, completing an initial pass, but because that star was taken off, they will have lost eligibility for lead, so it's going to be a full 2-minute jam. Jovy is out with another 4, making this 12 points. And we time out at 2 minutes. River Runner did pick up 2 points in that jam, bringing Crooked River now up to 20 points. Twig back out the jam now for Black Rose, and it looks like this is Panic Attack out the jam for Crooked River. Twig coming out, and she is our lead jammer. Black Rose keeping Panic Attack stuck on this initial pass. Twig is in for her first scoring trip through. Oh, and Panic Attack is out. Panic Attack picking up 4 points for Crooked River. Twig also with 4 points. So Twig now looking at a 12-point jam. She's still our lead jammer. Twig is out with another 4. Black Rose now on a 16-point jam. Panic Attack coming out with another 4. So this is a 12-point jam for Crooked River. Twig with a +4, making this now a 20-point jam. Scar working some defense there on the outside line along with Bloody Mary, keeping Panic Attack stuck at the back of the pack. Twig coming in now on her 6th scoring trip, and she's out. And Twig looking at a 28-point jam with just a couple seconds left to go. She's going to get some speed here and see if she can break that. Oh, she was in during the 4 whistles. Let's see. 32-point jam by Twig, bringing Black Rose to 238 over Crooked River's 35. Goose out the jam now versus Wreck-It. Speaking of 238, Swiss roll is called off on a back block. Wreck-It is out the jam for Black Rose. Goose, number 00, has the star for Crooked River. So lead jammer now in the hands of Wreck-It. Wreck-It's out with the first 4 points of the jam. Beans taking down Goose at the back of the pack. Here comes Wreck-It on a second scoring trip, and he's up with 4 more. Now Wreck-It coming in on a 3rd scoring pass. Goose out with 4 points for Crooked River. Black Rose losing Farrah Fawcett to the penalty box just as Wreck-It comes out with 4 more. So Black Rose looking at a 12-point jam. 50 seconds left to the first period of the game. The period clock has expired. So Wreck-It breaks out. Jammer referee. Smash catches him throwing up 4 fingers. So it's a 16-point jam for Black Rose so far with number 30, Wreck-It, still in control. Oh, Wreck-It going out of bounds, coming around the apex. Looks like Pocket Monster with that defense against Wreck-It. Wreck-It coming back in and restarting that pass. Crooked River with a 2-wall, guarding the inside line, and it's effective. It puts Wreck-It out of bounds on the inside. Farrah Fawcett now taking some solo blocking against Crooked River's jammer, receiving that star pass. This is Ghostface. And in the last seconds of our first half, Reckitt called off in a track cut. Those last couple seconds bring us to the end. So 2 more points rolling in for Reckitt. And 2 points rolling in for Crooked River. All right, moving into the second half of our game now, coming in off of our halftime. Our first half of the game saw a lot of very strong jams on the side of Black Rose. They are going in this halftime at 256, Crooked River 42. This is River Runner out to jam Wreck-It, seated in the box from a penalty late in the last jam. So the chance of a power jam now in the hands of number 24, River Runner, but Beans coming in, closing up a hole on the inside, keeping River Runner stuck behind Starstruck. Now Blueberry putting River Runner out of bounds, forcing River Runner to recycle. Wreck-It finishing his time in the box, comes back in and picks up a Black Rose lead. Wreck-It coming out now. He's got 4 points for Black Rose. River Runner just continuously getting blocked at the back of the pack by Starstruck and Beans, working side by side in that tripod. Not letting anything happen here for River Runner. Meanwhile, Wreck-It coming out with another 4 points for the Black Rose side of that scoreboard. So Black Rose looking at an 8-point jam so far. Make that 12 with Wreck-It out after a third scoring pass. River Runner still stuck at the back of the pack. Black Rose not giving River Runner any mercy. Wreck-It's out now, making this a 16-point jam. River Runner just trying to push and push, but still can't make any headway through that wall in the back. Meanwhile, Wreck-It with an apex jump, completing a 5th scoring pass, going in for 6. Looks like Wreck-It's going to have one last point in that last jam, so Wreck-It now looking at a 21-point jam. Panic Attack lining up against Ange Jovi. Jovi getting some love from the spectators here as she is out with a Black Rose lead. Panic Attack stuck behind a Black Rose tripod, held up by Bloody Mary. Jovi is in and she's out with the first 4 points of the jam. Now Crooked River losing their pivot to a penalty as Jovi winds up for her second scoring trip. She's in. Oh, ow. Just about completes her pass, but she goes out of bounds. That was Ginger Chaos with that defense against Ange Jovi. Now Ginger Chaos working the back of that tripod, once again taking Jovi down. Jovi gets back up, recovers on her skates, and finishes another 4-point pass. So Jovi looking at having 8 points now for Black Rose. Panic Attack still stuck in the back behind Scar and Bloody Mary working the butt positions of that tripod. Jovi coming in for a third round of points, but she goes out of bounds to the outside. Jovi re-enters. And with those 4 more points, Jovi looking at a 12-point jam. Jovi's in and she's out. And Crooked River down with the star pass over to Banshee. Jovi coming in with another 4-point pass with a nice round 20 points. And she calls off the jam. Banshee unable to score after that star pass. So 20-0 in that jam in favor of Ange Jovi, bringing Black Rose just 3 points shy of the 300-point mark. Now Twig is out to jam. Twig is our lead jammer for Black Rose. Number 00, Goose with the star in this jam for Crooked River. And Twig is out. She's got 4 points, breaking the 300-point mark. Black Rose now at 301. This jam still underway. Booberry and Farrah force it with some nice defense against Goose in the back of the pack, held up by Swiss Rolls. Nice footwork by Twig as she comes out, completes her second scoring pass. Pocket Monster coming into the back of the pack, trying to clear out a hole for Goose, but Goose is still stuck. Swiss Rolls bracing that tripod. Farrah forced it, taking Goose out of bounds to the inside. Now, while all that's happening, Twig is out, completes her third and fourth scoring passes now. Looking at a 12-point jam. So far, Twig, our highest scoring jammer of the game, with 84 points altogether in the first period now. She's out. Now looking at a 20-point jam. Now, just a moment ago, we saw Ange Jovi with a 20-point jam. Block on Twig, sending Twig out of bounds by Goose. Now Booberry holding Goose to the back of the pack. Star pass over the tiny tornado. .24-point jam there by Twig. Scoreless jam by Crooked River as they pass that star off. Black Rose at 321, Crooked River 42. Wreck-It back out. Wreck-It getting taken down by Panic Attack. Panic Attack getting back up and bringing Wreck-It all the way to the back, forcing him to restart this pass. Now jamming for Crooked River. This is Space Outlaw. Oh, Wreck-It taken down just in the nick of time by number 100. That is Ginger Chaos. So Wreck-It is going to restart this pass. Bloody Mary taking Space Outlaw out of bounds. No lead jammer as of yet. All right, two whistles is going to give us lead jammer going over to number 30, Wreck-It. Now Wreck-It finding a pretty large hole on the inside, coming around the turn, gets him an easily scored 4 points. Space Outlaw still trying to complete this initial pass for Crooked River. Crow working the back of that tripod there along with Diablo. Bloody Mary working the top of that tripod, keeping an eye on Space Outlaw. Wreck-It taken out of bounds and forced to the back of the pack. Wreck-It trying to complete the scoring pass, but goes out of bounds to the inside, takes the safe route and recycles to the back. Another star pass going over to Pocket Monster. And Wreck-It called off on a jammer penalty, so we're looking at a 2-minute jam. Pocket Monster now in with the star, but we time out at 2 minutes. So Pocket Monster does pick up 1 point for Crooked River and 4 more points rolling in for Wreck-It. So Wreck-It starting this jam in the penalty box from that earlier penalty. It's a power start in the hands of Crooked River now. They're putting out number 94, 84, Panic Attack. Black Rose now moving to full defense with their jammer in the box and Panic Attack starting unopposed. Panic Attack getting some blocking in the back. Starstruck and Jax Gaddington working the back of that tripod, held up by Scar. Wreck-It coming in from that penalty in the last jam, working on his initial pass, and he's called off on a track cut. So no chance for lead now. Wreck-It getting that second penalty, and Panic Attack taking off their star. So Black Rose once again working full defense right now against Panic Attack with their jammer in the box, and no chance for either jammer to get lead. We are now looking at a 2-minute jam. Scar and Starstruck working side by side against Panic Attack. Panic Attack trying to get through that 2-wall. Wreck-It coming back in from that earlier track cut. And Wreck-It completes his initial pass, not lead jammer, but is able to score points. He breaks out, puts the first 4 points of the jam on the board. Now Wreck-It completing another 4-point pass. This is an 8-point jam as Crooked River has completed a star pass. Wreck-It with another round of points now, making this a 12-point jam. We cannot call it off. We do go for the full 2 minutes. That is a 12-point jam, compliments of Wreck-It going to Black Rose. They're at 341. Crooked River 43. And it's a 3-on-3 pack here. Each team down a blocker. Sunset Scar out there jamming for Black Rose. Jamming for Crooked River, number 8, Pocket Monster. Oh, Crooked River with a 3-wall at the top of the pack. Again, Sunset Scar keeping her stuck, but Sunset Scar is out, and she is our lead jammer. Pocket Monster out. Sunset Scar coming in for her first round of points. Farrah Fawcett clearing out a hole, but it looks like Farrah Fawcett will be called off on a back block penalty. Sunset Scar coming out with 4 points. Oh, Sunny going for a jump, but she has one toe step go out of bounds. She has to recycle. So she goes back in, restarts this scoring pass. This is her second scoring pass of the jam, and she's out. So Sunny looking at an 8-point jam so far. Pocket Monster putting 8 points on the board for Crooked River. And Sunset Scar breaking through with another 4 points, making this a 12-point jam. Pocket Monster with another 4. So Crooked River looking at a +8 so far in the jam. Sunset Scar's out with another 4. So Pocket Monster getting some defense by Black Rose in the pack now. Sunset Scar now getting out with another 4, so looking at 20 points. Pocket Monster so far, I believe the highest scoring, one of the highest scoring jams of the game for Crooked River. Pocket Monster looking at a 12-point jam. Sunset Scar coming out. She's got that she had 20 points, 22 points all said and done. .3-point jam by Sunset Scar. Going into a 5-on-5 jam. Both teams are at full strength. Coming out the jam, I believe this number 12, Tiny Tornado for Crooked River, and number 12, Booberry, jamming for Black Rose. First time out to jam, and Blueberry is our lead jammer now. She's coming in on her first scoring trip through. She's taken down by Tiny Tornado. And Blueberry is out with 4 points. Jamming for Crooked River, this is Ultimate Life Form.